You know, guys, adventure bikes are made to take you anywhere. You know, you don't have to stop when the road stops. You can go. I've been everywhere from Morocco to Death Valley, all over the place, all over the world on adventure bikes. Specifically, the Tiger 900 Rally Pro. This bike has taken me through the sands of Morocco, boulders in Death Valley, and just about everywhere else in between. This is a proper adventure machine. There's a lot of technology and a lot of performance packed into this bike, but not everybody needs that. You know, people get older, the electronic rider aids start confusing them. You know, it becomes just a little bit too much for some of the gray-haired crowd. And I'm not saying that every gray-haired guy is not a good rider and can't, you know, blow me out of the water, that's for sure, but some of them it's maybe a little bit too much.
What a crock of shit. Before I became a member of the Gray Ponytail Brotherhood, I used to think they were all full of crap.
Here's one now.
But now that I've become a GPTB,
look at that.
I realized that they were right the whole time. You don't need all that stuff.
What stuff?
You don't need 8 inches of suspension travel unless you're just trying to keep your from being bruised.
Oh, man.
All you need really is the basics. Horsepower, the steel steed between my legs as I cruise from town to town with my friend the Highwayman. I'd rather save the $5,000 and just get the base model of this thing. The Tiger 850 Sport is all a man really needs.
Is that right?
Just the basics, a 3-cylinder motor.
Okay.
Why it's got the same horsepower as this one almost.
From
its 880cc 3-cylinder with a T-plane crankshaft, which it actually sounds pretty cool,
awesome.
It sounds great. But it's really torquey, so you don't have to rev the thing up that much either, which is nice.
I mean, you're right. The bones are there for a great motorcycle.
Mm.
And yeah, you can get the base model for $4,700 less than that Rally Pro. Mm. But let's take a little bit of a closer look at this 850 Sport.
She's a beauty, isn't she?
So yeah, I mean, you know, the new colorway looks good. I think the red probably looks pretty good too. Mm-hmm. But yeah, this blue looks good.
I have to say one of the things I like about this one is the seat. It doesn't have quite the suspension travel. I think 7 inches on front, 6.7 in the rear.
Right.
Compared to an inch or two more.
9.5 in the front and 9 in the rear.
Okay, so that one's good if you're going to crash through boulders in Death Valley. There's a reason why they call it Death Valley, people. I've been there too. And
yeah, I don't know. Well, so how is this different? Other than that, I mean, what you don't even can you even read that display? Do you need to put special glasses on?
This one doesn't have the big 7-inch TFT display of the other one.
It doesn't.
There's actually 5 different ones of these new Tigers that they're all redesigned for 2021, or is it 2020? 2021.
Yeah.
So there's 2 Rally GTs.
There's the Rally Pro, and then the GT and the GT Pro. And this 850 Sport ended up replacing the base Tiger 900.
This is the base.
That came out in 2020. So now this is the base.
This is $11,995. If you want something better, you're going to have to go up another couple $1,000 at least. So the things that we don't have, I was being disingenuous when I said I didn't really need cruise control. I kind of need cruise control.
It's the only thing that you ever care about on any motorcycle.
Pretty much. This does not have it. They have a list of about 60 different items, accessories for this, and I didn't see cruise control on there. Yeah. But it should be easy to do since it's a ride-by-wire bike.
I think they just want you to spend the money on the more expensive trim.
We've got no heated grips on here. Your bike has heated grips.
And seats.
That's the Rally Pro. Heated seats.
Yeah.
You know, and when it comes to that kind of stuff, it's kind of be whether this bike might work for you would kind of be largely dependent on where you live. Like, because it's got ABS, but it doesn't have lean sensitive ABS.
Right.
Because it doesn't have an IMU that it can. It's got traction control, and you can turn it off, but it's not like advanced traction control. It's old school traction control. If you live in California, like us, like me, if it's wet, I usually take the car, to be honest. It doesn't really rain much anymore. Just We wouldn't say anything about global. We won't mention
Global
climate
what?
change. We won't mention climate. But I very seldom ride in the rain. If you live in England or someplace where it rains a lot, I don't know if you could get by with just basic ABS anymore.
I mean, people did for a lot of years.
People
but,
did it for a lot of years.
But I mean, to that point, in the EU, which still includes England right now, I think, this does meet the A2 licensing requirement for the power. So this is actually a detuned version of that exact same motor. So despite the 850 moniker and the 900 on that, they're the exact same engine. This one's just been kind of detuned to let it slip into that A2 licensing requirement.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting because the spec chart says that your Rally Pro is supposed to make 96 horsepower, I think. And it made 84
it made
at the
84,
rear wheel
yep.
on the dyno.
Yeah.
And this one was rated by Triumph at 85, and it actually made 82 horsepower.
Right.
So you're not giving up much power with this one compared to more expensive versions.
And it kind of moves the torque down in the rev range a little bit from this other motor,
and
is
this
what
one
I read.
Made 59 foot-pounds of torque.
And that one made 57.
So this actually makes a little bit more torque. And that's like what... I guess for some motorcyclists, could maybe talk about the motor first. We did that a little bit. The new 880C, it's a gem of an engine. I really like the motor.
Yeah.
I really like the motor with the T-plane crankshaft, I already said.
It sounds bitchin'.
It sounds awesome, and it's really torquey.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of a slightly shrunk down Suzuki V-Strom 1000. Had that real wump of power down low, real juicy mid-range, and kind of tapered off a little bit more on top. This revs out and it feels pretty fast on top, but you never have to go past about 7,000 RPM, 8,000 RPM. It's a fun motor on the street. I could feel it stepping the tire out a little bit in the lower gears off the tighter corners. But the chassis is great. The other thing these two have in common that you might not expect on the budget model would be the Brembo Stylema brake calipers,
once reserved for leader bikes,
once
Italian
reserved
leader
for the
bikes
Ducati
only.
Panigale was it's got Stylema. Now they're even on here.
Now they're here.
The brakes are awesome on here. On yours, I felt like it was easy to get into the ABS. I don't know if I like those tires quite as much as I like the Michelin Anakis that are on here.
I don't know. I kind of like those Dunlop Mission Trail Maxes there. They both were stepping out a little bit in the canyons today.
I think I trust it a little more. Anyway, you got a 1917 wheel combo on here. Yours, the Rallies have 2117s,
2117,
right?
and it's spoked.
Those are all
it is
wire
tubeless,
spokes, tubeless.
But yeah, you get the cast wheels on this.
These are your old cast wheels on here, which are fine on the street and fine for fire roads.
Yeah.
If you're not going to be jumping boulders and doing stuff like that,
just
you'll be fine.
keep your speed down around the embedded rock.
We have a windshield that goes up and down.
Easily, just like that.
Which is pretty cool. I felt like this was pretty quiet. It's not very big, but it kept my helmet pretty
gives you
still.
a nice bubble.
Most of the time, I'm 5'8", he's 5'8". It seems to be at a pretty good height, like right here. You push the air over your head, so it's a pretty calm cockpit. My main complaint about this, I love the motor, but traffic really moving fast these days during the pandemic. Like we're doing well above the speed limit on the, but between 5,000 and 6,000 RPM, I'm feeling quite a bit of buzz in the handlebars, which I wouldn't be concerned about if I could switch on the cruise control, but I can't. So that's my only complaint about the motor.
Maybe the heated grips would be nice too to warm up your hands. You probably got poor circulation in your appendages these days.
That's what I was saying.
Good to keep them warm.
I was glad my hands were frozen so the vibration wouldn't bother me as much.
Right.
You know.
Oh yeah, no hand guards.
It dipped down in the 50s this morning on the way up here. I think
absolutely
I was
frigid.
Yeah, it was frigid. It's still kind of chilly now. It's not a bad place to live, California. If you want to bring a passenger, there's a preload adjustable knob. I cranked 3 turns into that and put like a 150-pound passenger on there the other day, and it worked really good to keep the suspension. This is Marzocchi suspension, a 45 millimeter fork and a Marzocchi shock on back, and that's not always the best brand name for suspension, but it seems to work well on here. I think it works pretty good.
I thought it was totally fine for what we did.
It's firm enough But when you're giving it the berries in the canyons like we just were, it's pretty sporty and it goes good.
Still comfortable,
It's like Triumph can't build a bike that doesn't really handle great. It seems like, and this one's no exception.
Yeah,
as we say.
and I mean the throttle response is great. The fueling on all the latest Triumphs has been really awesome, and this is no different.
I totally agree. It's got great grab handles on the back, and a little package shelf on back of there, bungee stuff on there. Like it's a great if you just want to go exploring. I guess it's an adventure bike,
right?
But not really going to do anything gnarly. Or if you're going to commute to work, you can put your lunch on back of there, and I don't know what else you could do, but.
Yeah, I mean, again, like we said, this is kind of more the bare bones Tiger, and so you only have two rider modes. You got road and rain, and you can't turn the ABS off, but you can turn traction control off. So which is fun if you want to go out down a fire road or whatever.
Yeah.
But I mean, $4,700 for everything that you get on the Tiger 900 Rally Pro. Heated seats for your rider, passenger, heated grips, like 6 ride modes that include disabling all of the electronics if you're a pro, off-road pro. I don't know. I mean, for me, even the GT Pro, which is the top of the line street model for the Tiger lineup, is $15,000. So that's $3,000 over this. I don't know. I would spend the dough on one of the other trims.
I was really liking the retro styled Scrambler 1200 XC we did the other day. And that's a couple $1,000s more than this one. Yeah. But I understand some people just like this look, and that's totally acceptable too. So the Scrambler 1200 doesn't have this nice windshield though to keep you out of the elements.
It's true.
Kind of getting blown around. Yeah. Last time we were out on those. Coolest thing I was saying, it kind of reminds me of a big V-Strom 1000, but it actually weighs like 50 pounds less than a V-Strom. 477 pounds gassed up.
Yeah.
And that's a 5.3 gallon tank.
Yeah, you got some range
there. And as I came up here going way too fast this morning, but when I filled up the tank, it got 46 miles to a gallon. So that's pretty good gas mileage and pretty good range too.
Yeah.
You could go a long ways on here without having to fill the thing up.
Yeah. If you want to get over here, cruise up, PCH, whatever.
Yep.
Absolutely do it. Take the day in the canyons. A lot of fun.
How does it stack up to a Yamaha Tracer 900 GT?
Never rode one.
Mm-hmm. Well, that bike comes with cruise control. I think it comes with heated grips. It comes with the stuff that you'd want, but it's more expensive than this.
Yeah.
A V-Strom anymore, the base model is more expensive than $12,000. So I guess it's a pretty good bargain.
Yeah.
And what I was going to say, at 477 pounds, like it's really controllable and easy. Lightness is the expensive thing, and this thing is pretty light, which is nice. I'd feel pretty confident going off road on this.
And it's got a low seat height, so you can get your feet down.
Yeah, you get your feet down. The seat is adjustable 0.8 inch up and down, and I think it's in the high spot right now, and I can touch fine on either side. So even if you're pretty short, you could probably fit on here.
I want to note that BMW does the same thing between the 850 and the 750 GSs. So Triumph came out and said it during the presentation for this bike that is the segment that they're gunning for, and they felt like there's been a spot for that 750 despite there being the 850 and them both using the same motor, and it's been selling well for plenty of years now. So this is definitely where they're the kind of market that they're gunning for with that. Whether it's a new rider or a new adventure rider, this is an option for them.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I think all the building blocks are in place on this.
Yeah.
Really good chassis, very solid feeling. The engine's awesome. I really like the engine. The fueling's great.
Brakes
are great. And if you want to get this one and add cruise control, that's probably the only thing I'd have to put on here if it was me. That's the only thing that would be the deal breaker for me. I like everything else about this cute little motorcycle. It's not that little, but I mean, it goes good. It was fun to ride in the canyons. We had a little bit
and I think it's
twisty road fun.
It's important to note too that although this is the detuned version of that's why they're calling it the 850, it wasn't that much of a difference. It wasn't that noticeable at all to me.
No, I didn't feel it at all.
So,
if anything, this one felt, we just said it had a couple more foot-pounds of torque than that one. And
so I mean, don't just
I think it weighs a little bit less too. Yours has a center stand.
Yeah.
I don't know if that came.
That one's closer to 500 pounds.
Yeah. So this one's really light and crispy compared to that one. The handlebars not as wide.
Yeah. So when we say detuned, there's not that much of a difference, but you don't have ride modes and stuff you can change. Only 2 of them.
The engine's there. All right,
So,
that was a beautiful day. Thanks for not writing the commerce post in the office.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming out for the ride
Yeah.
to help us out.
Yeah, I mean, they just wanted me to come out here to make sure that someone could pick the bike up off you if you ended up underneath it.
You millennial. You little punk. Oh, well, yeah. If you like the video, click the like button. Santa Ana's are kicking up again. Santa Ana wins again. If you click the like button, if you don't like the video, I don't even care anymore. Just write any nasty comment you want. It'll go right over my head. I don't care. Thanks for watching. Come back next time.